In the second part of our series on how digital departments are essentially obsolete now, we hope to answer the following questions for you. 1. How do broadcast and digital media integrate, and what technologies allow this to happen? 2. For travel brands that have enough budget for broadcast, how do they make the most of that budget while taking advantage of digital media technologies simultaneously? And 3. For travel brands that don't have a large enough budget for broadcast, how do they take advantage of those same technologies? Well, welcome back to a second part of our Death to the Digital Media Department series. Today we're going to chat a little bit about how broadcast and digital media have integrated from a technical standpoint. One of the main things that here at MMGY we believe in, and I'm going to read this out loud to you guys just to frame the conversation, is TV and digital media are not natural rivals for ad budgets, but natural partners for making an impact on our target audience. So with that in mind, I just want to get a brief synopsis from you guys on some of the technology advances that we've had in the digital media space that are allowing us to align with broadcast, and what your thoughts are on that, and how you guys have used it in the past before.
A lot of the research resources we use get very granular about these are specifically the programs that are associated with certain consumer behaviors, in our case travel behaviors. So we can get very granular with people who go to this specific Caribbean island, watch these TV shows. They watch them not only in the traditional broadcast manner, but they also watch them digitally. And we can take a look at how much we have to pay to make this happen in a broadcast environment versus what it would take to make that happen in a digital environment, and marry those things two very well so that we can optimize our efficiency for our clients.
Bob, you make a great point in terms of optimizing and making sure it's efficient for our clients. And one of the main questions these days is when we integrate digital with broadcast in a broadcast extension realm, there are a lot of people that have their own definitions of what is broadcast extension. So I just kind of want to hear your guys' thoughts on what is a true broadcast extension to an MMGY media department.
We define a broadcast extension as a campaign where you're truly extending the message. So we're using the same assets, we have the same goals, the same strategy. We're really extending that message into the digital environment.
And to that point, what type of strategies can you guys use whenever you extend to a digital environment?
We typically look at, these are the things that broadcast television is best at, and these are the things that digital is best at, and this is how they marry up most efficiently. For example, broadcast television, the first word is broad. It's good at creating big reach. Digital media has a tendency to be better at very sharp targeting. So we can marry the broad reach with the very sharp targeting and come out with the most efficient mix.
Great point, Bob. Now, on to your point, Bob, about integrating those two things and having those individual strategies. We've heard about extending that broadcast through a reach or a frequency or a competitive set. What are some use cases that you guys have done in the past where you've seen success with that?
We've done this for Springfield, Missouri CBB. We've had a lot of success in extending the traditional television message into a digital radio environment through Pandora. So we've taken that broadcast schedule that was airing on TV and really just extended it and continued the message online. So it's been really efficient at driving website traffic and inquiry to the site. So I know you've had some successes too.
Well, sure. In the broadcast environment, for years we've been dealing with the same issues that are bubbling up to the surface now in digital media, which is viewability issues. In broadcast, we call that sort of being DVR resistant. So for a long time, we placed a lot of our broadcast impressions in live programming, such as sports, or in news programming, because not a lot of people record the news and then watch it later. It's not news anymore if you watch it later, right? So that was how we were dealing with viewability in the broadcast realm. Now, in the digital realm, strangely, what started as an attempt to escape all those TV commercials actually ended up being something that's very guaranteed. When you're in digital video, you have to watch the commercials or you can't watch the show at all. So on both sides of the spectrum, then we've dealt with that viewability issue.
Great point, Bob. I'm curious to know, too, in some other use cases where you've had to deal with both those viewability issues, can you call out maybe one specific use case, Bob, that you particularly have dealt with this viewability issue before?
For our client, the Beaches of Fort Myers and Sanibel, our client has always had concerns about, are the TV spots actually being viewed? So we have married that live programming environment with digital video to optimize the number of eyeballs seeing the messaging. And it's working. They're booking rooms at an unprecedented pace.
And one other thing you can do that's pretty simple is buy on a cost per completed view, which I'm assuming you guys did as part of that campaign to ensure that digitally people are actually viewing the video.
Cool. One other thing that people sometimes debate about is if you have a broadcast extension on a digital realm, do you buy it in a CPM world or do you buy it and marry it with the same strategy as a GRP world? So I just kind of want to get your opinion on how you should actually buy that digital broadcast extension.
Evaluate it on a gross rating points level, buy it on a CPM level.
And why?
It's a lot more efficient when you buy digital on a CPM level. Agreed?
Yes, I agree. I don't think the standardization is there quite yet to have GRPs used across all types of media. I think we'll get there, but I don't think the industry is quite there yet.
Cool. When you evaluate your digital broadcast extension, do you, obviously you buy it on a CPM basis, do you ever tend to evaluate it on a GRP basis in order to get apples to apples, or do you keep those strictly separate?
Oh no, we actually do everything we can to make sure we understand how this is working in the real world. And on a GRP level, that's sort of the gold standard for who we're reaching, how many people are we reaching, and how often are we reaching them.
Great point. And my last question to you guys is, what are some things that you're seeing in the industry that are really pushing this forward, either some technology advances or anything that has popped up recently in the news?
Part of what's moving the game forward is the media sales community is very integrated itself. So we rarely run into people who are bringing us just one medium. So the people who are bringing us television are also bringing us digital extensions. Same happens in the print world. Same happens in radio. Strangely, we're even seeing this in out-of-home media, digital extensions.
And the ability to link consumers across devices, I think, has really made a big impact on our ability to reach people consistently with similar messaging. So I think advances in that area have really benefited as well.
Cool. Well, thank you guys again for joining me today. I appreciate your insight to this digital broadcast extension topic. Next time we'll be talking more specifically about how we're going to get into radio and broadcast extension on that one.